And we're back again. After a 2-year enforced break due to COVID-19, the best lager sports athletes from 9 European nations will once again compete for an international win at STIHL Timbersports.
The young generation is really good. We have a lot of good guys.
The 12 best rookies from Europe will be competing in Munich to win the Rookie European Championship 2021. The young talents are incredibly motivated and are well aware of what's at stake today.
It's about the mindset. You must show the best in all disciplines.
Wir sind alle ziemlich auf demselben Level, wir pushen uns gegenseitig.
They can be soon in pro level and be the best guys in the world.
Nel campionato europeo di Monaco spero di riuscire a fare quello che mi sono prefissato, quindi arrivare preparato al 100%.
Il y a eu beaucoup d'entraînement durant tout l'hiver pour pouvoir participer à ce championnat. J'espère pouvoir la représenter correctement.
Jeder Rookie möchte aufsteigen, möchte zu den Profis kommen, möchte dort mitmischen.
Man hat hart gearbeitet und man hat so viel Zeit ins Training investiert, da will man natürlich auch gerne auf dem Podium stehen.
Definitely, you always reach for the top, yeah.
The motivation among the rookies is huge, so there will be no lack of competition for the professionals in the future.
Yeah, I think the pro will watch up. They are coming.
The addition of the Springboard this year has brought in some new regulations with a round system for the Rookie European Championship similar to the pros. The STIHL Timbersports Rookie International Championship competition. The International Rookie Championships are held in a 3-round elimination format. In the first round, all rookies compete in 2 disciplines, the underhand chop and the stock saw. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a single point difference applies in each event. Thus, the fastest athlete receives points equal to the number of athletes in the competition, and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification, and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In the second round, the remaining athletes compete in the standing block chop and the single buck for increased points. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible on the Springboard, as an increased score of 3 points between positions applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score 18 points in the Springboard. The slowest receives 3 points. The athlete who achieves the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion. Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides. Sebastian Bateau from France and Lukas Wagesreiter from Austria will compete against each other in the first heat on the big STIHL Timbersports stage.
Athletes, ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
It's a great start by both of these guys as they battle through this underhand chop, with Sebastian Bateau looking very good representing the French side, but it's Lukas Wagesreiter who ends up turning around to the other side first with the advantage and wins this heat nice and clean. Lukas Wagesreiter won the heat with a personal best of 33.34 seconds. In the next heat, the Czech Michal Škonička will face Frenchman Loic Voisin, who is a hot contender for the title.
3, 2, 1, go!
Good clean start, and these guys are in sync right from the get-go, with a fast heat so far for both of them. The question is, who is going to switch to the other side first? And it's Loïc Vincent who does get around to the other side first with a distinct, yeah, that's at least 3 or 4 hits before Skornička moved over to the other side of his log, and he moved over rather gingerly. Skornička gets that axe caught a couple of times, and it's Loïc Vincent with the faster time of 26.8 seconds. Skornička struggles to get through that block. The next contestants are Edvin Karlsson from Sweden and Robin Haas from Switzerland. Good start by both of these guys, and we know the Swedes are producing some fantastic talents, and it is Edvin Karlsson looking very good as they both move over to the other side. Robin Haas keeping up with the Swede. Who's going to get through there first? That log is looking shaky for Karlsson, and it's Karlsson with the win in this heat against Robin Haas with a time of 29.49. Now we have an all-Italian heat with 24-year-old Michael Perin and Alessandro Chiapponi, just 1 year younger. There we see Chiapponi getting up on his log, Michael Perin moving over to the other side of his quite quickly. Both of these guys excellent with the axe in the hand, but it is Chiapponi who wins this heat with a time of 31.13. Mikołaj Grunwald from Poland is competing against Maciej Klima from the Czech Republic. Both of these guys are very, very strong. Grunwald, one of the upcoming favorites, but the stronger of the two, I would say, is probably Maciej Klima. Good start for both of them. You can see Maciej Klima on the far side with the red, white, and blue shirt. Let's see who's going to go to the other side of their log first. Grunwald doing well, but he's got that axe caught a couple of times. Maciej Klima already on his second side, and Mikołaj Grunwald has moved over to his other side now, but it is Klima with a distinct advantage, and the Czech with a remarkable personal best time of 20.24. Mikołaj Grunwald gets through in 38.40. The pairing for the final underhand chop is the very experienced Oliver Reinhardt from Switzerland up against the German Marcel Steinkemper. Both of these guys super strong and pretty evenly matched up as well. So it's anybody's guess who is going to win this heat as both of them turn to the other sides of their logs almost at the same time. Oh, and a huge hookup for Steinkemper, and the win goes to Reinhardt.
War kein optimales Ergebnis beim Underhand, bin ich weit unter meinen Möglichkeiten geblieben. Jetzt gucken wir mal, wie weit das uns gebracht hat.
And here are the results of the first discipline. Maciej Klima is fastest, taking the 12 points. Oliver Reinhardt receives 11, and Loïc Vincent secures 10 points in third place. The athletes prepared for the contest, among others, at the Rookie Academy in the Netherlands with top international coaches.
I have been into the sport since 2008 when we started in Sweden. So I have learned a lot during those years. So I hope I can give something back to the young guys.
The Czech veteran Martin Komarek is always there too.
I had many good placing in the big events, and this is because the people want to help me and I get the chance to meet them. So now it's my turn.
Komarek is passing on his comprehensive expertise to the next generation of European choppers. The 10-time Swiss champion Christoph Geisler is another stalwart on site.
C'est sûr que ici ce week-end il y a des rookies qui ont beaucoup de potentiel. Il faudra qu'ils fassent attention de bien gérer leur entraînement, leur progression aussi dans les compétitions. Et ici aujourd'hui, il y a un joli potentiel pour que ces jeunes-là soient en compétition pro à l'avenir.
You are not allowed to do any mistakes. If you do that, you're out.
In addition to technique and training, they also receive instructions on the procedures surrounding a competition.
I think it's very important for the rookies that they understand what's all needed for a competition.
they know a lot already, but we try to find the small details so they can prepare for competitions.
They also learn what to do if things don't go according to plan.
We train them on wood and we train them on some knots, how you can work around it.
If you are in the sport, you have to go step by step. This is very hard and long way. Everything what about is this sport, you must do likely. And this is very big deal.
If they want to put the hard work in and continue the hard work, they will be in the pro series, I promise.
So the potential is there and they're highly motivated. Now is the time for all the young athletes to give it their best in the second discipline. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
Armed.
Back at the Kesselhaus, Frenchman Sébastien Bateau is taking on the Czech Michal Skornička. This one happens quick with these stock saws. These are off-the-shelf machines that you can buy in any shop, and you can see, wow, these guys are really evenly matched up. But it is going to be Skornička on this one with the quicker upcut. Oh, how close is that? Look at the difference in the time, 54 to 56.
L'épreuve de la tronçonneuse, pour l'instant, c'est bien passé. Donc, on espère pour la suite.
Our second French rookie is up next. Loïc Poisson will be up against Michael Perrin from Italy. Good start by both of these guys as they grab and cut their first cookies easily. The upcut is the critical one here, though, and it looks like it's Michael Perrin with the advantage, and he drops it first.
I'm very happy with the stock saw, and we will see what in the next heat happens.
Nikolai Grunwald is now sawing up against Matthias Klima, who wants to stay out in front at the rankings. Great start by both of them. A little bit of a heavy-handed lift by Matthias Klima, but he's got a clean downward cut. It looks like Nikolai Grunwald has the advantage. So, yeah, he was definitely faster on the upcut. Matthias Klima coming from behind, but he's not fast enough for the young Pole, and Grunwald gets it with a 13.49.
These guys are really good, and I don't know how they will chop.
Oliver Reinhardt seems pretty relaxed up against Alessandro Chiapponi, who is totally focused in the stock saw discipline. It's a good clean start for both of them, but that focus for Chiapponi is paying off as he dropped his first cookie first, and he's got that second one done and dusted quickly. Good run.
Ja, ich hoffe, ich komme durch. Die Punkte werden in den nächsten 2 Runden gemacht.
Oliver Reinhardt is currently sitting in third, but Alessandro Chiapponi is already showing how close it is on the stock saw. German talent Marcel Steinkemper now needs some crucial points to advance to the next round. He's up against Austrian Lukas Wagesreiter, and both of these guys have a really clean start, and that is a thin cookie for Wagesreiter, but Steinkemper looks like he's got that first cookie good and fast on the floor, coming through the upcut with the advantage, but he's got a problem right at the top with the stalled chain.
Stocksaw war ich jetzt bei der ersten Scheibe sehr dünn. Es hat Zeit gekostet. Ich denke, dass es sich leider nicht ausgegangen ist für die nächste Runde.
Ja, der Wettkampf heute war nicht zufriedenstellend, überhaupt nicht. Also weiter an mir selber arbeiten und dann geht's weiter in die nächsten Wettkämpfe.
Robin Haas from Switzerland and Edvin Karlsson from Sweden are next on stage. Edvin Karlsson very focused and a good start there where both of these guys evenly matched up on that first cut. It's that transition and upcut that's crucial, and Edvin Karlsson gets it.
I think the stock saw for today, it was a good cut and usually not that good.
Italian Perrin cuts the fastest time in stock saw and earns 12 points. Edvin Karlsson finishes second and receives 11 points, and Loic Vincent sits in third with 10 points. So we have a new leader after 2 disciplines in the overall standings. Loic Vincent now is ahead with 20 points, tied with Edvin Karlsson. Matthias Klima with 18 points sits in third. Steinkemper, Haas, Bato, and Wagesreiter are unfortunately eliminated. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 27 centimeters has to be cut through from both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result. Mikael Skoniczka is now up against Nikolai Grönwald in one of the most difficult disciplines as a rookie.
Stand to your timber.
Standing block chop is a tough one, as you always have to have the angles just right, and it's one of the disciplines that they come to at the very last as a rookie, and that's exactly the reason. That big skip by the axe is a very dangerous situation, and those angles all play a huge role, as the Polish youngster has just realized what this is all about, but he is just one hit away from taking this one down, and Nikolai Grönwald does it in 27.79.
Jestem zadowolony z drugiej rundy w porównaniu do pierwszej, ponieważ lepiej poszedł standing.
Oliver Reinhardt up next is one of the favorites for the title. He's going up against Alessandro Chiapponi with one of the best names in the sport. And both of these guys get going at it right away. Pretty evenly matched up here, but Reinhardt is very, very proficient with the axe. This is one of his stronger disciplines, in fact. Chiapponi moves to the other side, pretty close behind Reinhardt, but it's Reinhardt with one more blow to take the top off that block with a nice time of 24.77.
I didn't do a really good standing, but I tried to do a safe cut in the single buck.
But first we have some more heats to go in the standing block chop. The stage crew is doing a great job, as always, to get the stage ready for the next heat, and that would be between Matthias Klima and Italy's Mikael Perrin. Both of these guys also very strong in the standing block chop. Let's see who takes the advantage out early as Matthias Klima gets in there with power. Mikael Perrin has the height advantage, so he can stand back from that block a little bit, but look at the amount of power that Klima is putting into those hits as both of them move over to the other side. Klima with a one-stroke advantage, and he is going for it here. Who's going to take the top off? It's going to be Matthias Klima with a great personal best time of 21.30.
Standing was pretty good. I have a little bit knot on the second side, but I'm pretty good.
Normally it's not my best discipline, the standing block, but today is good.
Good is a bit of an understatement. Now we move on to the young Swede Edvin Karlsson. Again, his opponent is the overall leader, Loic Vincent, and standing block chop is one of his best disciplines in the sport. And you can see both of these guys really getting into it deep with some heavy, powerful hits. Precision is so key here. Let's see who moves over to the other side. It's Karlsson, showing why this discipline is definitely his. Loic Vincent now moving over about 2 strokes behind, and Karlsson just giving it everything he's got, but it's Vincent that knocks the block off the top first, ahead of the Swede.
Le standing et le pass se sont très bien passés. Au passe-partout, j'aurais pu un peu plus allonger.
Edvin Karlsson is rightly disappointed. His time has only earned him 2 points in last place in standing, and Matthias Klima is again the fastest in the standing block chop with a personal best time and takes a full 16 points into the bank. Loic Vincent receives 14 for second place, and Mikael Perrin collects 12 points. As with other sports, the newcomers always look up to the best in their country.
Als Vorbild haben wir im Verein natürlich einen Kugelarmin, der mittlerweile in Europa ein Top-Sportler ist, vorne mit dabei ist.
Germany's Marcel Steinkemper also trains with the best in his country.
Ja, also Vorbilder habe ich so viele, was den Sport angeht. Ganz groß ist auf jeden Fall Danny Martin, habe viel mit ihm trainiert jetzt in der letzter Zeit.
But naturally, they all have a secret goal.
Ja, also Danny zu schlagen ist natürlich noch ein bisschen in der Zukunft, aber ich trainiere hart darauf hin und ja, irgendwann mal meinen Lehrmeister zu schlagen, möchte ich sagen, das wäre natürlich der Hammer.
There is, however, one name that you hear the rookies say over and over again.
I think Martin Komarek.
Wir trainieren auch ganz viel mit Komarek Martin, da es Tschechien und Österreich nicht so weit ist.
Martin Komarek sowieso.
Pour moi, le plus important dans ce sport est Martin Komarek, vu que c'est un des meilleurs européens jusqu'ici.
Martin Komarek, per la passione che mette in questo sport e lo spirito che ti trasmette quando ti allena e quando sei insieme a lui, diciamo.
We know each other maybe 20 years almost, so he taught me everything.
Of course, the international elite are also among their role models.
My favorite is Sterling Hart, for sure. He is confident, he is smart, he is my idol.
Natürlich, klar guckt man immer auf zu den Australiern, besonders Mitch Argent, Braden Meyer, Lawrence O'Toole, das sind alles Meister ihres Fachs.
Braden Meyer, guardarlo sul palco, la facilità che ha nel fare ogni disciplina è sconvolgente.
Oliver Reinhardt from Switzerland has been able to train with his role models for a long time.
Role model would be definitely those guys over in New Zealand and Australia. All the ones that are good. I really enjoy them. They're a cool bunch. They're very, very competitive, but very nice. They look after you, and I think that's the spirit of the sport.
Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc from a 40-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success. The first heat in single buck coming up, then the last discipline before 2 more athletes are eliminated after the second round. Nikolai Grunwald here up against Mikael Skornička. Question is, advantage to the longer legs of Grunwald, or will Skornička take it down? A very difficult discipline, as they call this the misery whip, because if that thing gets bent or stuck, it is a very difficult tool to restart again. Skornička looking like he's got the advantage here, and he drops it with a personal best 14:44.
No, bym chciał dostać się do Springboarda, lecz no zobaczymy jak wyjdzie. Dziękuję.
Italy's Chiapponi up against Switzerland's Reinhardt. Both of these guys very strong in this discipline, but advantage to Reinhardt for sure. And they're off. Oh, back to back. No bothering looking at each other in this one. These guys just want to focus on the sport, and that is exactly what they're doing. Oh, a huge hookup for Reinhardt. That gives the advantage to Chiapponi, but Reinhardt back with that saw moving, but it's Chiapponi with a personal best 15:36. Nice.
Singlebuck war auch mäßig, hatte ein paar Hacker drin. Mal schauen, wenn die anderen nicht so gut sind, dann reicht's. Und wenn nicht, dann nicht. Das ist der Sport.
Up next, Miguel Perrin, who's enjoying himself so far in the competition, and it seems to be working well for him, up against Maciej Klima from the Czech Republic.
3, 2, 1, go!
And both of these guys really getting deep on those saws. Long strokes by both of them. Maciej Klima looking good on the far side, using every ounce of his power. He's got a super efficient stroke. Oh, we've got a world record by Maciej Klima. 13.51. He has got to be feeling good today.
Yeah, I feel really good. I didn't stroke, so yeah, it couldn't be better.
Carlson up against Voisin. Loic Voisin solid in this discipline, but he has to go for it now if he wants to get anywhere in this competition and move on. And here we go. Wow, the concentration and the tension is palpable between these two. Something that the Swedes are known for is this discipline, but look at the speed that Voisin is moving that saw at, and he's using the entire saw. Distinct advantage here as he comes to the bottom and has a personal best of 14.24. Carlson struggling a little bit on those last few strokes.
Springboard, je pense, ça se passera bien, oui. Je pense dans les 3 premiers, il y a possibilité, oui.
So Maciej Klima wins 16 points with his world record in single buck. Michał Skoniczka takes 14 and Loic Voisin earns 12 points. Maciej Klima thus remains in the lead with 50 points ahead of Loic Voisin, who is 4 points back. And Michael Perrin is currently in third with 37 points. Carlson and Grunwald are unfortunately eliminated after the second round.
Le springboard en finale est une bonne idée vu que c'est une épreuve assez complexe. C'est une des plus dures épreuves.
La prima volta sullo springboard è stato su uno springboard a 2 tavole e non è stato... è stato un po' scioccante trovarsi a quell'altezza a dover rompere un tronco.
We have a tough relationship. It's a bit of a love and hate one. It's cool when you're on the board, but until you get that pocket just right and that board, yeah, just to fit it in real good, that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice, and we'll see how it goes today.
I love it. It's the most favorite discipline. You need to do everything exactly good to be a good in this discipline.
Apart from the challenging technique involved in cutting the perfect pocket, you can't underestimate the height at which the block has to be cut at the end.
Angst darf man vor einer Disziplin nicht haben, denn sonst kannst du diese Disziplin weder sicher noch schnell ausführen.
But the springboard will provide plenty of thrills for these young athletes.
I hope I won't get too nervous. I know myself with new things in a competition, I most of the times get a bit nervous. I hope I can keep myself under control.
So with the introduction of Springboard, the rookies move another step closer to being pros.
Lo springboard a una tavola è secondo me un importante ingresso nel mondo timbersport perché va a preparare i rookie per quello che sarà il domani.
Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees by climbing up over thick branches. First, a notch, known as a pocket, is chopped into the log. The springboard is then anchored into this pocket. Now the athlete will climb up onto the springboard to chop a 27-centimeter wooden block from both sides at the top of the log.
This is the first time springboard with one board for other rookies, and I don't know how did it go. Just look.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward because that's my premiere at onboard Springboard. So.
The atmosphere among the 6 remaining athletes is tense.
Je suis deuxième au général, donc ça c'est très bien. On verra maintenant le Springboard, c'est vraiment l'épreuve décisive. On verra comment ça se passe.
I have to be focused and think just to do a clean pocket, up and chop.
Alessandro Chiapponi and Oliver Reinhardt will have to go first. They both look quite relaxed as they go up on stage, but will that stay that way for long?
Athletes, ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Optimal is a 4-hit pocket. That takes a lot of training and a lot of precision to make that happen. Reinhardt's got himself 6-7 hits in there already. Chiapponi still working on his pocket. It looks like these guys are chopping the whole tree down from the base, but Reinhardt's got his board in place, and now he can start working on that block at the top. Chiapponi gets his in place now, and he gets to work on his block, but definitely the advantage goes to Reinhardt. No matter what, for both of these guys, whatever time happens to come out of it, if they do get inside the time limit, they will both have personal bests. It's looking good for both of these gentlemen, as Chiapponi and Reinhardt are both going fairly well. Chiapponi, Reinhardt's gone very deep, and he only needs 1 hit on this backside, and there you go, first time out, world record 48.85, a great time for Oliver Reinhardt. Chiapponi still battling as he passes the minute mark here to try and get through his block, and he does it, and he won 27 and change.
Your cut was good, and your cut was not only good, it was also world record. Very good.
The next opponents are making their way onto the stage. Skornička and Perrin, they both really need good times now to catch up with Reinhardt. Reinhardt has set the bar with a world record just above 48 seconds, so that is the number that these guys are going to want to try and catch up to, but that's going to be a difficult task.
3, 2, 1, go!
Again, looking for those perfect pocket placements, and the precision that these guys have to have is absolutely incredible. Miguel Perrin there in the blue, and Skornička there with the white, red, and blue. Both of them trying to find their pocket. Skornička looks like he's got his in place as he tests that, but there's a lot of sag happening. Oh, excuse me. Perrin already up on his block, and Skornička gingerly gets onto his board as that looks to start sagging, and he is rethinking this situation here as he's going to go back down and try and reset that pocket and board. Big problem for Skornička as Miguel Perrin is already well into that block on top. Skornička trying to get that pocket clean, and this is a problem here because if the time runs down too far, there will be a time limit exceeded, and that means a DQ, so that is a big deal for these guys. Perrin still working on the top. Nobody's even come close to 48 seconds at this point. Skornička's got his board in place now. He's got his work cut out for him. Perrin moves to the backside on that awkward angle as he tries to get through there. His time closing in on the 2-minute mark, 1:55. He's almost there. Skornička, meanwhile, still working on the front side of his block. And it's starting to wiggle for Perrin, and there it goes! 2:08.76 and a personal best for Miguel Perrin. And there is the time limit exceeded by Skornička, and that was all lost in setting that pocket and board.
And you ran out of time, so unfortunately DQ.
Perrin's time may not be good enough to win the title, so the last heat will decide who will be the new STIHL Timbersports Rookie European Champion 2021. Now it's up to the last two athletes. Our two leaders in the overall standings will compete man on man. axe to axe, board to board. Matthias Klima currently still ahead of Loic Vincent. That is a lot of concentration walking onto the stage there as they get ready, blowing out some nerves and looking to get a good time, remembering that 48-second fastest time for the rookies and aiming for that. Matthias Klima getting into it right away with some heavy hits. Loic Vincent looking to get that pocket set quickly. Matthias Klima has his board in place. Is it going to be stable enough for the big man? Loic Vincent gets his board in place. He's about 3 or 4 strokes behind Matthias Klima, and now they can get to work on that top block. What a challenge for these rookies, and it's fantastic to see the Springboard added to the rookie competition because it's one more aspect that will help them develop into proficient and really excellent professional timber sports athletes. Matthias Klima digging hard to try and get that first side cut nice and deep. Loic Vincent has done a good job to keep up with the check. Let's see, this one's going to come down to the wire between both of them. They've both just passed the 48-second mark, so no world record's going to be broken here. But Loic Vincent is already working on the backside of his block. Did he go too deep, or did he not go deep enough? And it's going to be Matthias Klima with a 1:01.30. That is a good time for the rookie. Loic Vincent still trying to get through the backside, and I don't think he cut deep enough on the front side, and he's struggling, but it should go any second now. And there it is, 1:24.96 for the Frenchman. Oliver Reinhardt is the fastest on the Springboard and takes 18 points home. Matthias Klima receives 15 and Loic Vincent gets 12 points. Sadly, Skornička was unable to finish the Springboard within the time allowed, further proof of how demanding this discipline really is. Matthias Klima from the Czech Republic stays on top of the overall standings, just ahead of Frenchman Loic Vincent and Switzerland's Oliver Reinhardt. And that means Matthias Klima is the new STIHL Timbersports Rookie European Champion 2021. So these are your top 3 in the STIHL Timbersports Rookie European Championship 2021. Bronze goes to Switzerland's Oliver Reinhardt.
Ich fühle mich gut, doch. Ich habe am Schluss abgeliefert. Hat jetzt nicht mehr für den ersten Platz gereicht. Aber ich bin zufrieden mit dem Springboard. Hatte dort einen Weltrekord. Doch kann man zufrieden sein.
In second place with the silver medal, the Frenchman Loic Vincent, who had a very strong competition here.
Je suis vraiment très content de ma deuxième place. C'est vraiment un combat durant tout l'hiver, vraiment beaucoup d'entraînement. Et j'ai été vraiment régulier durant toute la compétition. J'aurais pu faire un peu mieux, c'est sûr, ça aurait été bien. Être champion d'Europe, c'est vraiment quelque chose de bien. Mais bon, deuxième, je suis vraiment content de ma deuxième place.
And here is the extremely deserving STIHL Timbersports Rookie European Champion 2021, Matthias Klima from the Czech Republic.
Thank you very much. I feel so proud, so honored. I really enjoyed it. I'm so happy. I can't describe it. I'm surprised.
Surprise and tears of joy for Matthias Klima. The Timbersports Rookie European Championship 2021 would have deserved to be watched by spectators. It was a display of absolute top performances. These young, hungry athletes will be a force to be reckoned with in the future. In the first event, the eventual winner, Klima, was already attracting attention with a personal best. He had already left the field behind by more than 3.5 seconds. Unfortunately, the German contestant Marcel Steinkemper could not continue his good performances of the national competitions. After he managed to only finish in the middle of the field in his favorite discipline, the underhand chop, he had to say goodbye to his dream of the title after the first round. Along with Robin Haas from Switzerland, Sebastian Bateau from France, and Lukas Wageschreiter from Austria. Klima was also compelling at the start of the second round. Even if the new personal record here was much closer to the second-place Loic Vincent, Michel Perrin and Oliver Reinhardt were also only fractions of a second behind with their times. The Czech Michal Škornička achieved the second fastest time in the single buck and thus a place in the final round. Once again, Matthias Klima was faster in the end with a new rookie world record on the cross-cut saw. The Swede Carlson and Nikolai Grunwald ultimately just couldn't get through to the final round. Another world record in the grand finale at the Springboard. Oliver Reinhardt achieved the best time with an impressive 48.52 seconds and therefore earned 18 points and the bronze medal. Silver goes to France and Loic Vincent, who performed extremely well in the competition. But Klima was just unstoppable. He wins the title with 3 out of the 5 best times. To sum it up, it was an extremely high-class Rookie European Championship, with many personal best times and 2 world records. The new generation of timber sports athletes certainly did make a splash here, and the pros need to watch their backs.